Welcome back to this video. So back in our AWS management console, what we are going to do first is to create our RDS instance. And by now we all know how to launch AWS services, either through the search or through the services, and then browse through the categories and select our services. Or if you have the service that you have opened in your recently visited, you can just straightforward click it from here. Now for me, I have it on my dashboard, so I'll just click RDS from here. Now once RDS is opened, I can either create it from here, or I will go to my databases to see if I have any other database, and I don't have any database, so I will just create database. And yes, we'll use the standard create. For engine, we'll use a MariaDB engine, right? Because we are migrating from a MariaDB on our EC2 instance to a MariaDB RDS instance. However, if we have a different database instance elsewhere and then would want to migrate it to a different database engine on the cloud, there is a service that enables us to do that. It is a schema converter, right? That's also offered by AWS, so you can use it to first convert the database and then now migrate it to the cloud, right? The engine that you want to migrate to. So we'll scroll down, and then for engine version, we'll leave it as it is. For the template, we'll choose a development or test template. And for the database identifier, we'll use Cafe Database. Great. And for username, yes, we'll use admin for this. And for password, I already have my password. There's a password that we are supposed to use, so I'll copy this password, paste it here, and paste to confirm. Great. Now for instance configuration, we will need to choose a T2 micro instance, right? And for this, we'll use the bestable class so that it will scale according to changes in workload. And you realize that immediately we chose the bestable class, it starts from the T3 micro, right? It starts from the T3 micro. So to show the T2 micro, we'll filter, or we'll just turn on include previous generation classes, and we have previous generation classes here, so that is the T2, and then we'll go with the T2 micro. So that is where we would want to start from. Okay, for storage, we'll leave it at general purpose SSD GP2, and the allocated storage will go with 20. Okay, for storage auto scaling, yes, we would want it to auto scale, and then the maximum is 1000 gigabytes. That is what we want it to scale to. For availability and durability, we will not create a standby instance. And for connectivity, we'll choose our lab VPC. For subnet group, yes, there is a defined subnet group, so it's two subnet groups, so we just put it here. We are not going to enable public access, right? And for security group, there is an existing security group, so I will deselect the default and then choose my DB security group. For availability zone, we'll choose the US East 1A. This time we'll have a choice of availability zone that we want to deploy our RDS instance to. We'll check additional configuration. Yes, we'll leave the port at 3306. And let me just to confirm my network choices. Yes, we will not connect to EC2 compute resource now. The network type, yes, we'll have IPv4. Great. We'll not use an RDS proxy, and yes, we'll use password authentication. We'll not use the password and an IAM database authentication. Enhanced monitoring, we'll disable that because that will also cost us some extra money. And after that, let's explore the additional configuration. We will not create an initial database name. We can do it, right? But for us to appreciate further exercises, we will not create it for now. So we'll leave it as it is. And aside that, everything should be left as it is. Okay, and then we'll create our database. So for here, the database is being created, and there is an option for us to either choose an elastic cache cluster or use RDS proxy. I've explained this one in a previous lab session, so I wouldn't waste much time here. I'll just close this. And for the next exercise, we don't need to wait for the database to be ready, right, for us to do the next exercise. But what I'm going to do is I'll end this video here, and then we'll continue the next task or the next exercise in another video. So see you in the next video.